Back to the week that was in state politics, Kerry. Who won it, do you think?
Well, if you look at the polls, it's all over the shop. You would have thought at the beginning of the week that the coalition was coming home with coming home strong. They're getting closer and closer. But at the poll at the end of the week, the Labor Party are set to win. So I think we're caught in that usual old-fashioned adage: the only poll that counts will be on polling day, because it seems to be all over the shop at the moment. The interesting thing I thought about this week was that we've started to see the negative advertising come in. Up until now, both sides have been pretty positive about what they were doing for New South Wales. The Premier's been talking about what he's done and that there's more work to be done. And Chris Minns has been presenting, we are a team, we've got a very strong team, we've got a very strong plan. And that's been, the theme for both sides was about how good they were and how good they would be for the state. But this week you started to see the negative advertising. You've got the coalition saying things like, you can't trust Labor with money, and you've got the Labor Party saying, well, you can't trust the coalition because they're going to continue to sell everything off. I think the most interesting part about the week, though, in many ways, Pete, was the negative advertising from the Liberal Party was almost reinforced by some of the actions of the federal Labor Party. I cannot for the life of me understand why federal Labor decided this was the week that they would go out there and announce a new tax on superannuation. Forget about how many people it might affect, but the fact that they announced that has given the federal coalition the opportunity to say, well, you can't trust Labor. All they are doing is coming after more of your money. And that's the theme that the Liberal Party are running on in the state. So I know people understand the difference between state and federal elections. I know they understand that they're different parliaments. But that theme, I think, will be reinforced now in the Liberal Party advertising. And the Labor Party, federal Labor Party, I don't think have done the state Labor Party any favours by announcing what they did this week.
Well, and Dominic Perrottet, when he's questioned on spending and debt and what have you, that he refers to the AAA credit rating that still stacks up in New South Wales. So do you believe that's the best measure of the true financial state?
Well, it's certainly one which is an objective measure, if you like. It's not either side claiming, oh, well, we're better at this, we're better at that. By saying, look, we've got a AAA rating and we've managed to keep that and maintain it through the worst pandemic that, we've seen this century, or, the last 100 years. I mean, that is a fairly objective measure for the Premier. Chris Minns' challenge is to be able to persuade people that they can continue that good economic management, that they are a pair of safe hands. Now, and to be fair, that's what their positive advertising has been all about. We've got we've got an experienced team. We've got people who can actually work, with the bureaucracy, work with the community, and deliver good outcomes for New South Wales. The Premier will continue to ask, as he has since this has started, how are you going to pay for it? Chris will keep on saying, well, I'm not going to be selling off assets and therefore I'll have dividends. The issue will become when the Parliamentary Budget Office looks at this to see whether the promises made by both sides can actually be what they cost and how they can be funded. All
right, Kerry Chikarovski, good to see you. Another week off, I should say, so we're getting a little closer.
3 weeks?
3 weeks to go.
Only 3 weeks to go, Pete. It's getting very close.
It is, and exciting. Chat to you next week, Kerry.